Happy May, everybody! Typically when the weather starts to warm up, the game releases tend to dwindle off for a bit. And while there aren't really any huge games coming in May, there's still a lot going on. We've got 40 games on tap for this month, with 8 coming to Game Pass, 6 coming to Early Access, 4 demos for PC and Xbox, and 1 demo for PlayStation and the Switch. Before we start the video, remember, I'm live on Twitch, Tuesday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. And go follow me on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Hover. Also, head on over to Patreon if you want to support these videos and the work I do. Finally, if any of the PC releases intrigue you and you use the Epic Game Store, don't forget to use creator code CW719 at checkout. It means the world to me. All that out of the way, let's go. Set in a series of procedurally generated labyrinths, Loot River is a dungeon-crawling action roguelike that combines the tense real-time combat and dark fantasy stylings of Dark Souls with the spatial block-shifting puzzles of Tetris. The pixel art looks really good, and not just during the gameplay, the cutscenes look fantastic as well. The injection of these puzzle elements to a top-down Souls-like experience is intriguing, but I wonder if the block puzzle mechanics will hold up throughout the entire adventure, or will they become more of an inconvenience over time? Find out on May 3rd when it comes to Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. It's also coming to Game Pass. This bullet hell dungeon crawler offers up 40 different gun types, boss battles, upgrades, and a unique 2D art style. The gameplay seems very reminiscent of Enter the Gungeon or The Binding of Isaac, both of which are stellar. To me, a competent bullet hell will always be fun. So the floor for this game is already pretty high. Now we just have to sit back and see what else makes the game stand out from the rest. Wildcat Gun Machine launches on May 4th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Lead humanity's greatest weapon, the Grey Knights, in this fast-paced, turn-based tactical RPG. Root out and purge a galaxy-spanning plague in a cinematic, story-driven campaign using the tactics and talents of your own personalized squad of Daemonhunters. As we've discussed in the past, tactical RPGs aren't my forte, but it feels like there is a new Warhammer game coming out every month. Well, here's May's. I know nothing of the Warhammer universe other than its fans seem to be very well taken care of. You can check out Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Daemonhunters when it launches on PC on May 5th. Role-playing in the ruins of interplanetary capitalism. Live the life of an escaped worker washed up on a lawless station at the edge of an interstellar society. Inspired by the flexibility and freedom of tabletop RPGs, explore the station, choose your friends, escape your past, and change your future. A good friend once gifted me a code for another one of this developer's games called In Other Waters, and while it wasn't quite what I was expecting, Citizen Sleeper seems to be a bit more up my alley. With it coming to Game Pass, I'll definitely be giving it a look. You can play Citizen Sleeper on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC when it launches on May 5th. Trek to Yomi is a cinematic action-adventure set in feudal Japan. Maintain patience and perfect your timing to succeed in combat. Use your opponent's strength against them to throw them off balance and land a killing blow. Now, I said it once on stream that if a game is entirely black and white, I'm out. I'm a visually driven person, and while I can respect an artist's choice in adopting an art style like this, it'll likely never appeal to me. Now, I'll likely still give it a shot as it's coming to Game Pass on May 5th, as well as PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC. Best Month Ever is a modern point-and-click, story-driven adventure of Louise and her son Mitch. Life is hard for Louise as a single mom, struggling to make ends meet. But things can always get worse. And after being diagnosed with a terminal illness that leaves her with 1 month left to live, the clock is ticking for her to raise her son. Now, the idea of creating a lifetime's worth of memories in 4 short weeks is so unique. This game has emotional wreck written all over it, as I'm honestly getting a little choked up just thinking about it. You can give it a look now as there's a demo on both Steam and Xbox. Best Month Ever launches on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, Switch, and PC on May 5th. The team behind Mystery Science Theater 3000 are making a multiplayer party game. Rifftrax, the game, has over 250 movie clips, Twitch integration, new game modes, and new ways to connect players. You can write your own riffs via text-to-speech or use over 2,000 riffs already in the game. I've never really gotten into Mystery Science Theater, and it doesn't feel like text-to-speech would deliver for this game, but I guess it all comes down to how it's implemented. I can see real appeal to those that are big fans of Rifftrax already. Rifftrax the game launches on May 5th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. A once peaceful kingdom is plunged into chaos by encroaching tides of mages, merciless embodiments of elemental chaos. The Marked Inquisitors, a doomed force of the condemned, once again mobilizes to stand against the existential threat of magic while a buried secret threatens to bring an ancient empire to utter ruin. Salt and Sacrifice is the sequel to Salt and Sanctuary from 2016. These games take some of the Souls-like mechanics and implement them in a side-scrolling platforming manner. Sacrifice will hope to improve upon the million-selling Sanctuary when it releases on May 10th for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC. The We Were Here series is a co-op puzzle franchise where you and your partner have to help each other survive and escape. It's all about cooperative discovery, immersion, and teamwork through communication. Your only possession is a walkie-talkie with a familiar voice on the other end. Now, I'd never even heard of this series prior to researching this game. Besides the games, there are also a set of videos called The Chronicles of Castle Rock, and it seems to be a surprisingly deep franchise to explore. Co-op fans should be on the lookout for this, and if you want to give the series a shot, the first game, We Were Here, is free on Steam. We Were Here Forever launches on May 10th for PC. Eiyuden Chronicle Rising is an action RPG. It weaves together the pre-war tales of various characters who will eventually become your companions in Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. The game will introduce a portion of 100 Heroes' cast of characters in an original story with thrilling action and engaging town upgrading elements. Rising is commonly referred to as the less exciting Eiyuden Chronicle game. However, to me, it seems like a good table setter for next year's much-hyped 100 Heroes. Eiyuden Chronicle Rising comes to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, Switch, and PC on May 10th. And yes, it's also coming to Game Pass. Source of Madness is a side-scrolling dark action roguelike set in the Lomelands, a twisted Lovecraftian-inspired world powered by procedural generation and AI machine learning. Take on the role of a new acolyte as they embark on a nightmarish odyssey, uncover the cosmic secrets of the Lomelands and the Tower of Madness, the moon's mysterious citadel. This game looks like it might be up my alley. We've got roguelike elements, skill trees, and it looks fun as hell. If you're intrigued, you can still buy it on PC at the early access price before May 11th when it fully launches on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, Switch, and PC. Play as a team of 4 survivors, exploring, looting, managing your fear, and finding key items to seal the breach between worlds in a game inspired by all 3 original Evil Dead films, as well as the Star's original Ash vs. Evil Dead TV series. The gameplay seems to be in line with games like Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th. I've always been a passive fan of the franchise, and the asymmetric multiplayer games rarely hold my interest for long, but those are such popular games, and Evil Dead feels like it's a really good franchise to tap into for that type of game. Evil Dead the game launches on May 13th for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, Switch, and PC. What if vampires were real? What if bloodthirsty predators lived hidden among us, engaged in a never-ending game of desire, conspiracy, and betrayal? What if you became one of them? In Vampire the Masquerade Swansong, you play as these alluring monsters in a world where the lines between the real and supernatural are always blurred. Now, I was curious to see how this game would connect to the upcoming Bloodlines 2, but the shared universe is about it. Swansong sets out to be a smaller, more intimate social/mystery-solving RPG, whereas the much-hyped Bloodlines 2 will be a large, open-world RPG. Vampire the Masquerade Swansong launches on May 19th for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, Switch, and PC. Farm the dead to stay alive. Yes, you heard that right. Farm the dead. You play a half-zombie named Reed who can not only use the tools around him to survive, but must also get some zombie followers of his own. Collect and plant corpses to grow your own workers. Use those zombies and the items you've scavenged to create an unstoppable zombie army. The game uses a top-down perspective that I'm not crazy about, but with a demo on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC, it's worth taking a look at if you have any interest. Deadcraft launches on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, Switch, and PC on May 19th. fight for your freedom in a sprawling fantasy world caught between the living and the fallen. Hone your skills in a retro epic featuring puzzle platforming, Metroidvania exploration, and crunchy Souls-like combat. I think the pixel art looks really good based on the trailers I've seen. The world looks colorful, vibrant, and varied. It also features skill trees tied to each character class. It's no secret that I've become a huge fan of Metroidvanias over the last couple of years, and I've found that pixel art is kind of my bread and butter. So now we just sit back and wait until May 19th, when Souldiers launches for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, Switch, and PC. Eternal Threads is a single-player, first-person, story-driven puzzle game of time manipulation, choice, and consequence. The game starts out with a fire that has killed 6 people. This was never supposed to happen, but you cannot simply prevent the fire. Instead, you must go back in time and influence the decisions of those responsible to prevent the events leading up to the fire. This game kind of gives me Obra Dinn vibes mixed with a little Sherlock Holmes. I typically don't have enough patience to play mystery games, but I'm intrigued by the setup of this one. Eternal Threads launches on May 19th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Golf Gang is a party game that mixes golf and racing. Play against up to 7 of your friends or play solo. When you're not playing it, take some time to customize your ball and the course. Then share your creations on the Steam Workshop. I never sat down and played golf with friends, but this seems like a faster-paced version of that. Golf Gang launches on PC on May 19th. Dolmen is a third-person cosmic horror sci-fi action RPG. You have been sent to Revion Prime, and it's your job to seek out a crystal with unique properties called a Dolmen, which may contain what's needed to identify and travel to other dimensions. When watching gameplay, I see a mix of Warframe and Elex. You have the ability to engage in both ranged and close combat, and while the ranged combat seems fine, it's the close combat that I'm worried about. The animations look stiff and give me the impression that it'll be far more frustrating than fun to play. We'll see if Dolmen can prove me wrong when it launches on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, Switch, and PC on May 20th. Across your career, you'll have the privilege of paying your debt by purchasing salvaging rights to increasingly large and valuable ships. Cut them open and extract as much value as possible. I don't know much about this game, and I also don't know much about Animal Crossing, but I do know that both seemingly have gamified debt. I'm far more interested in paying my bills in Shipbreaker over Animal Crossing though, just for the record. Hardspace Shipbreaker comes out of early access on PC on May 24th and will be on PC Game Pass. There's also a console version coming later on down the road. The Floppy Knights are projections summoned from floppy disks. Utilizing tactics gameplay and card game mechanics, square off in turn-based battles as Phoebe and Carlton, a brilliant young inventor and her robot arm best friend. Floppy Knights is colorful, cute, and seems to be full of character. I'm not sure the tactics gameplay is for me, but this one seemingly came out of nowhere and looks quirky enough to pique my interest. Check it out on May 24th when it launches on Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, PC, and will be available on Game Pass. The latest installment in the award-winning series, Sniper Elite 5 offers unparalleled sniping, tactical third-person combat, and an enhanced kill cam. Fight your way across the most immersive maps yet, with many real-world locations captured in stunning detail, and an improved traversal system that lets you explore more of them than ever before. In case you're uninitiated in the way of Sniper Elite, it's the series that lets you explode testicles with sniper bullets. Sure, you fight Nazis too, but we all know this has always been more about the splody nuts. Sniper Elite 5 launches on May 26th on PS4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, and PC, and will also be coming to Game Pass. The sequel to Out There, which is an award-winning space exploration game blending roguelike elements, resource management, and interactive fiction. Oceans of Time features a vast and vibrant galaxy, expeditions across uncharted planets, a customized crew, and a deep, branching narrative. I've never heard of the first game, Out There, and I'm not sure the gameplay lines up with the types of games I would typically play, but there also looks like there's quite a few different systems to dig into, so if complexity is your thing in your CRPGs, this might be up your alley. Out There, Oceans of Time launches on PC on May 26th. Pac-Man Museum Plus is a compilation of the best games of the Pac-Man series, ranging from the original maze games to the puzzle games and platformers. Discover the evolution of Pac-Man from his humble beginnings from 1980 through best hits like Pac-Man Championship Edition and Pac-Man Battle Royale. 14 games in one is a lot, but the added ability to unlock cool things to further customize your personal arcade is a neat touch. This seems like a must-have for Pac fans. Pac-Man Museum Plus launches on May 27th for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, and will be coming to Game Pass as well. Moo Lander is a 2D platformer with lots of environmental puzzles and resource management. You take control of the Lander, the last hero of a dying cosmic civilization. Your mission is to locate and obtain milk, the most important energy source in the universe. The milk is found only on the ancient planet of the mighty alien cows. Gain experience and unlock new abilities and modules to best the 20 different kinds of killer cows. While platformer seems like a strange way to explain this game, as all the trailers show the Lander flying around, this one is looking to be comfortably in the lead when the time comes to crown the Strangest Game of the Month award. Moo Lander launches on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, Switch, and PC on May 27. Kao the Kangaroo is a beautiful 3D platformer full of exploration, adventure, and mystery. You control Kao, who is searching for his missing father using his magical boxing gloves to solve puzzles and work past enemies. This apparently isn't the first Kao the Kangaroo game. I'd never heard of it prior to this, but apparently there was a Kao the Kangaroo game back in 2001. It was a side-scroller on Game Boy Advance, Dreamcast, and PC. It looks very similar to Spyro Reignited Trilogy, but I'm not sure that nostalgia is going to hit the same. Kao the Kangaroo launches on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, Switch, and PC on May 27th. Final Vendetta is a hard-hitting, action-packed beat-em-up for 1 to 2 players in the vein of classic arcade titles. Featuring stunning pixel art and a thumping soundtrack, Final Vendetta looks like it does an amazing job of capturing the essence of the old beat-em-ups like Streets of Rage and Final Fight. Beat-em-ups don't resonate with me now the way they used to, but those that love retro gaming might have a new game to sink their teeth into. Final Vendetta doesn't have a locked-in date yet, but should be coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series consoles, Switch, and PC. Choose a path and embark on a courageous adventure to save the Great Oak. Oaken, a tactical deck-building roguelike, comes to Steam and GOG Early Access on May 3rd. The 6th entry in the series, Dungeon Defenders Awakened, is a third-person tower defense action RPG coming to PS4 on May 3rd after having already been released on PC, Xbox One, and Switch. Bringing a new 100-tier battle pass, new maps, new modes, and other goodies, Halo Infinite Season 2 Lone Wolves drops on May 3rd. Songs of Conquest is a turn-based strategy game inspired by the classics from the 90s. It enters early access on May 10th. Battle gods, defeat mythological creatures, and gather resources alone or in co-op in Achilles: Legends Untold, a Souls-like RPG where you set out to end the conflict between Ares and Hades. It comes to early access on May 12th. In Cloud Gardens, the player overgrows lo-fi scenes of urban decay and manufactured landscapes. Create small dioramas unique depending on where you plant your seeds. Already out on PC and Xbox, Cloud Gardens comes to Switch on May 12th. This short first-person horror game utilizes old PS1-era graphics to take the player on a cursed fever dream. Already out on PC and Switch, Paratopic lands on Xbox One on May 13th. Explore a mystical forest, help the charming residents, and experience the daily life of a witch when Little Witch in the Woods enters early access on May 16. Build your castle, hunt for blood, and rise in power when this multiplayer survival game, V Rising, enters early access on May 17th. After spending 150 years underground, emerge with the goal of building your city in a post-apocalyptic wasteland when Endzone, A World Apart, makes its way from PC to the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles. You are the last astronaut in humanity's last hope. Find out what happened to the prior crew when Deliver Us the Moon comes to the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles on May 19th. Become Eiyuden, a 3-armed mutant bounty hunter in They Always Run. This 2D platformer will have you catching, slicing, dicing, and destroying enemies when it makes its way from PC to PS4 and Switch on May 19th. The follow-up to the very popular My Time at Portia, you're tasked with building a workshop to produce products to keep Sandrock afloat during economic hardship. My Time at Sandrock comes to early access on May 26th. RPG action-adventure meets dating sim storytelling in Maglum Lord, which makes its way to PC after landing on PS4 and Switch earlier this year. Check it out on May 30th. Navigate difficult roads and trails when SnowRunner, the definitive driving terrain simulator, makes its way to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles on May 31st. Navigate the unsettling Castevet Mansion when the first-person horror game Insomnis Enhanced Edition comes to PlayStation 5 on May 31st. And that is May, everyone. Lots of variety and lots of games coming. Let me know which ones you're looking forward to the most, or if you know of ones I might have missed. I try to be as thorough as I can, but I have to keep some stuff off the list just for time's sake. The better I understand the community, the more I can make sure I do my best to represent you with the games you may enjoy. I'll see you in June when we're going to start doing 2 videos a month, one for the first half and one for the second half. I can't wait. I'll talk to you soon.